What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. We're gonna head out scouting here in just a minute, myself, Ted, and Keith. We've been in here working on the garage all day, but we're like, man, we gotta get out at some point today and walk around the woods a little bit. But I wanna give you guys a quick update on the garage. Been in here working for, what, 2.5 weeks probably?
Yeah.
She just bowed pretty good once. That's what you get when you go to Menards and buy lumber.
It's looking like a wall. It's all framed up. We got a bunch of divots up there.
Yeah.
It took us forever to get it up there, so we just started cutting the top plate off.
We put that wall up like 30 times and took it down because this garage floor is not level, which is not ideal. Ted came in here, put up a bunch of insulation, and we've spent the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 days putting in these windows. You're almost there now. Almost there. How we looking? You're good there. That's perfect. It's coming down now. This is safe.
Orb's out here trying to cut this window in, having some issues. Me and Nick are in here guiding him down these studs. He's gone back and forth from the skill saw to the sawzall. Sawzall didn't work, so now he's back to the skill saw.
Everything's going according to plan.
Yeah. We're only about 3 hours in.
Yeah. We'll get the second one to put in next week.
Sounds like it's going good out there.
You want this ladder out there? I mean, it's your choice.
We're kind of using it though.
One more spot, Warb. Hang tight, buddy. All right. Oh, we really did it now.
Just like you planned it.
I'd say we're committed at this point. Look at this, to be able to draw back right here.
Put a little shoot-through netting right here.
Well, we got all of our cutting laying down.
Perfect at all. The goal was to get all this done before we leave to go hunting in a couple weeks, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Me and Keith are heading out tomorrow, or 2 days from now.
Yeah.
That's the plan anyway.
They're going to Kansas to scout, and then you're going to Montana, right?
Yeah.
Me and Jake will be here working on this place until we leave in a week and a half, 2 weeks, but there's no way we're gonna get this done before we leave. So it's a work in progress, but we're slowly getting there. Before we go out and scout, I want to talk about permethrin real quick. You can see we got a pile of it here on the shelf. I talked to Travis at Sawyer because he's the expert when it comes to this stuff. I just know that it works, about what you can use this for. You can actually apply this on hammocks, really any kind of fabric, tents. You can spray it on your dog. What I've been doing lately is I've been spraying my truck seat with it and just letting it dry, leaving it in there for, 6 to 8 hours or whatever if the window's down. Then my truck seats and all my fabric on the seats are treated. So if for some chance I get a tick that hangs on with me while I'm in the woods and I jump in the truck, that permethrin on those seats is going to kill it. According to a study done by the University of Rhode Island, you're 70 times, I think, or it might even be higher than that, 70 times less likely to be bitten by a tick if you treat your shoes and socks with permethrin. And we found that out just using this stuff over the years. Like, we treat our socks. I've got on a pair of socks right now that's treated, just like ankle-high socks. I treat my leather boots. It doesn't work or bond to rubber boots, but if you're wearing leather boots or shoes like this with fabric, it'll work just fine. Treat my shoes, my socks. These are my hunting pants that I wear all the time. I've treated them maybe twice this summer, washed them a bunch of times, and it still works. The thing with permethrin the mistake that I see people making when they use it is they apply this stuff like they would off or some kind of regular insect repellent. This stuff needs to bond to the fabric and actually dry before you use it. So lay out your clothes, out in the driveway here. We just got a bunch of rocks. We just lay it on the ground and we coat everything with it. And then we just hang it up for 6, 8, 10 hours until the stuff dries. And then we start wearing it from there.
You guys did that test a couple years ago, you and Gooch and Greg, and you can see the ticks dying on their way up.
Yeah.
On your painter suit.
That's another thing. Yeah, if you want to see that video, we'll put a link up there. That's another misconception about permethrin is if you're wearing it, you may find ticks crawling on you for a brief period of time. It doesn't keep them off of you. It kills them. So if they crawl on the fabric that's treated with it, they're going to die. And you'll actually see them. I mean, we did in that painter suit video. You could set them on the painter suit, and within a couple of minutes, you would see them like lose their grip and then start becoming more sluggish, and eventually they die and just fall right off. Another question people have about it is if there's an odor to it. Can you put it on your hunting clothes and still stay scent free? But Sawyer permethrin is 100% odorless. I'm not sure if like the agricultural grade stuff that you get from co-op and stuff is odorless or not, but this stuff is. Either way, something we use all the time. That's enough of me talking. Let's go to the woods. What the hell?
Somebody's little trash dump.
I guess somebody just came in here and drove down this road and just dumped this crap out here.
That's what it looks like. Can we use any of it for the house?
Probably. That sucks. Why would you do that? Why would you leave all this crap out here? So they don't have to deal with it. Well, now we gotta deal with it. So thanks, whoever you are that left all this crap. We'll take some of it out with us when we leave, I guess. See up on the top of it right there. Straight up.
Some acorns?
Yep. Came in today scouting big timber. What we're looking for mostly is oaks on some of these secluded ridges. It's pretty monotonous habitat in here. For the most part, it's just big swaths of oaks. I mean, we're standing in a pile of white oaks right here. We've already been walking through a bunch of white oaks, and I've been glassing up in the tops of some of them, and I haven't seen many acorns in them. A few hundred yards back, we saw a couple black oaks that had a bunch of acorns, and now we just came up on this red oak right here. It's like the lone red oak in this whole side of this hill. There's one back behind Keith right here, but it's dead. And there's two right up there, I bet you. And then there's a group of like 3 or 4 together. I bet you those are full of them. We're gonna go up here and look. I'm just trying to anticipate where these bucks will be when our season opens. Because if the white oaks aren't dropping, the red oaks they're not near spread out across the landscape. Like they're more concentrated in these little pockets, which is a good thing for us. Every year that we have a low white oak crop, I tend to have better luck getting on bucks in the fall. We're not just picking any ridge either on a map. We're looking for ridges that are really difficult to access, that you can't just walk out on a path and hunt right off the side of. You've got to actually cross through some steep country or water or something to get back in there to them. That's a good start right there. There's a bunch right up in the top of it, Ted. If you look straight up, you'll see them.
People got this ridge locked down a little bit.
Bunch of rubs right here.
Yeah, there is.
Right on that bunch of little trees.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like this is a pretty good crossing.
Yeah. Heading right up to that ridge, and the next one that you're wanting to look at, huh?
Yep. Bunch more rubs right down in here too along the edge of this ditch. Just found a couple tree stands right above us on this other ridge. So we just burned through that one pretty quick. Came back here to a little bit more remote spot, dropped into this ditch, and as soon as we got down here right on the bench, there's a bunch of rubs. Pile of them right here. We've noticed big bucks will do that too in this type of terrain. Is if there's pressure on top of the hills like that, where there's, you know, in these monotonous woods, those bucks will stick to these low ditches where they're completely out of sight. And that's how they'll traverse up and through these woods. I don't know if that's exactly what's going on right here, but there's a pile of rubs right there, which is definitely encouraging. Let's see if I can do this without busting my butt. It's kind of interesting. Slight little habitat change right here. We just came out of that ditch right behind us. You can see where it falls off. And we got on this bench. This ridge continues going up right here. But right along this bench, there's some different trees and stuff in here growing. A little bit higher stem count stuff. This is the place where I would expect bucks to move, not up on top of the ridges during the daylight. I'm thinking they'll be down here on these benches right next to these ditches where they're out of sight. Still a long way to get back here to this spot.
Yeah, good little ways.
And if they cleared some of this mid-story stuff out of here, this would be a killer spot. What kind of tree is that, Keith? embarrassed that I can't get it right off the bat. These right here, it's not ironwood. There's a lot of them. Oh yeah. They need to go. It's kind of like what everything is. They're not really serving much purpose. But hey, this is public land. We don't do that.
Can't just bring the sawzall in here and start cutting stuff down, huh?
No.
Like you can at the cabin.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
it's
choking
doing
out
what
the
ironwood does in southern Ohio.
Yeah, choking the mid-story out. But this is a good remote spot for a buck to lay. There's definitely some rubs right here on this little point. Look right over here. See, there's just a wall of stuff like 30 yards away. It's real thick in that transition. I bet you there's buck sign up here along the edge of it. Heck of a trail right here. Good trail right there going right into this thick transition. See right here we got thick, this little opening where there's some sunlight getting in the ground. And then we've got the oaks in here. And the guys are walking right down here along a trail right inside the transition. We're paying real close attention to this.
We bumped one.
Finally. Right where it started to look really good.
Took us long enough. Giant.
Did you get eyes on him? Right when stuff started looking good.
Right when it started looking good, yep.
Probably slop. No, for sure.
Could be.
Could be just no giant. Just
200 inches.
mag.
We found their home. This is real good.
This looks freaky.
Yep. There's a lot of this in here too.
Same type of thing that I bumped that buck out of last year. Right off the road.
Walked through a pile of stuff and finally got back in here to some thicker country, a little bit more remote. Stopped seeing hunter sign about 300-400 yards back. Started seeing buck sign. Got in here, started jumping deer. Got a good fence crossing back here marked. There's a pile of trails in here and lots of old rut sign. It's definitely a spot that they're using to bed in. We're gonna start looking for red oaks and black oaks because the white oaks that we've seen thus far today haven't had any acorns up in the tops of them. I'm not gonna totally ignore the white oaks, but the red oaks, black oaks are definitely holding the majority of them are. We're walking back now. Actually found a couple of white oaks here on the walk out that are loaded down with acorns, which we haven't seen thus far. Mostly it's been red oaks and black oaks, like I said a while ago, but these white oaks right here are full. It's a good sign. We're gonna be hunting over these acorns probably in a couple months. We're gonna jet back to the car, grab all that trash that somebody left out there. Don't dump, don't leave trash out on public land, or on private land for that matter. Pick up your damn trash.
Making us sick.